Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. So, as we go into a new school year, I know a lot of you listening have children, perhaps college age, perhaps high school age. And if you do, this message is really designed for you, but this is designed for anyone who maybe has children or has a large influence over relatives that are of college age. And what I wanted to get across today was a lot of what's going on in the field of education around accounting as an area where people can study. Now, before you snooze off on me, hear me out. I want to tell you the story. We have this amazing board of advisors at my alma mater, Elon University. I serve on the board of advisors for the accounting department, among other alumni, some of which I knew when I was in school. There's a few folks that I know from there, and professors and other experts from the industry. And we advise the faculty, quarterly or more frequently on what we should be focusing on, how can we can advise them on how to get students aligned to better jobs, how can we advise them on their curriculum and make them ready for the profession. And one thing that keeps coming up is the lack of desire among students to study accounting and this stigma that it seems to have. And I want to set the record straight. And for anyone within an earshot willing to listen to me explain this, I've always said this and I will say it again. When it comes to choosing a field of study in college, if you are going to go to college, if you're going to send your kids to college, if you're going to, you know, advise anyone to pursue a college education, my best advice, the best advice I think I can give is if you're choosing a field of study, choose the field of study that will offer you the most choices later because it's going to change. Your passion will change. The world will change. Technology will change. The need for what it is you want to do will change. If I did what I wanted to do, I would be a hand drawn Disney animator. There is no effing way there's a job for that anymore. So just know that, you want to have the most longevity, career longevity, and the most flexibility because the best thing you can do with your dollars that you spend on tuition is buy choices. That's the best thing you can do. That's what we're here to do, buy choices and buy income potential. And the more you can be nimble and adapt to growing economies and changing technology, the more nimble you are, the more valuable you are. And the more you can pivot what you want to do as you get older and get deeper into your career. And why this is so important is because I was given this advice when I was younger. My dad told me that, yes, you love art, you love Spanish, you love math, like take an accounting class, see if you like it. You guys know this story, but took a bet with him, took an accounting class, ended up loving it and majored in it. But the reason I majored in it was because my dad told me that he's like, Shan, when you get older, you know, if you make enough money, you can still draw. You can still take other Spanish classes. You can travel the world. He's like, you can indulge in all these things that you love because you don't have to worry about how much you make. And to me, the narrative that we were fed as millennials was you can be anything you want to be and anything can become your career. So it's like what school subject was your favorite became that's what you're going to go do. And I was like, no, here's the funny thing. I'm going to go against some like conventional wisdom here and say, whatever it is you love most to do, for the love of God, don't make it your career. Because if it becomes the career, if it becomes the thing you must do to pay the mortgage, if it becomes the burden on you that you have to keep doing it in order to live, you will put so much pressure on that thing, you will no longer enjoy it for the sake of whatever it is. I loved Zumba fitness as I went through my 20s and my 30s. I loved it. I taught 3 or 4 classes a week. I would teach for free if I needed to. I didn't do it for the money. I just did it for the pure love of it. I still love Zumba. And everyone used to ask me, especially students who used to take my classes, they would say, "Shannon, how come you're not like, you should do this full time? You're pretty good at this. Like, you've been doing this for 8 years. You should do it full time." And I would say, "No, I'm never going to do it full time." As much as I would enjoy that, I think about all of my friends who decided to do that and go full time. And, a simple cold, a simple ice storm outside, a simple road closure, a simple outage or something takes away their ability to earn income. The earning potential became fickle for a profession like that. And Lord knows I'm not discouraging anyone from entering into such a profession. I think it's wonderful. But for me, I wasn't willing to take the risk. And I would say you have to look at the dependencies of what's going to impact your earnings potential in this area. What legitimately can you do as a career using this field of study? And I question a lot of it and say accounting is a fantastic alternative. Now, why accounting over general business? Because when you study a little of everything, you're good at nothing. Point blank, period. If you study accounting, you understand the language of business. They assume if you studied accounting, you know enough about business to, get through. And on top of that, you have a unique skill set. When you generalize, you sound like everybody else. When you specialize, you're actually special. When you specialize, you actually have a leg up on the competition and you can actually, articulate your value because you have a unique value that's different than everybody else. When you are general, you're going to have to mix in with the crowd, be like everybody else, which seems enjoyable initially when you're younger. And then you realize that I'm just like everybody else. And there's no legitimate reason they should hire me over the person standing next to me because we look kind of the same on paper. So, accounting is such a great field of study for a couple of reasons. One is, and hopefully the profession is going to catch up soon. I promise. I really hope they do. That curriculums will catch up with what accounting actually is. Accounting has nothing to do with being good at math. Accounting has nothing to do with being good at, you know, science or anything like that. It is completely, it's like law. It's learning rules, accepting these rules as truth and moving on, and layering these rules that you learn that you basically learn all of a new structure. It's learning a language, to be honest with you. This is why I was good at it because I learned Spanish very quickly. But as long as you learn these rules, like in Spanish, you learn how to conjugate your verbs, right? There's like yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, all that stuff. If you learn that and the structure and the rules, you can then apply it in multiple ways. Same goes for accounting. You're simply learning a set of rules around how business works, how the gears in a business work, and you can apply that in so many different ways. This positions you well to start your own business. This positions you well to become a consultant. This positions you to become a fraud examiner, to become a tax preparer, to become an advisor, to become a financial planner, financial advisor, to quite frankly do anything. Quite frankly, do anything because the beauty of it is if I wanted to with an accounting degree, I could run a successful fitness business. Because I'll tell you what, I would not have majored in fitness even if I was just as passionate when I was 18 as I was when I became 26 and I fell in Zumba. If I was that passionate, I would probably try to major in health and fitness. My dad would stop me. And he would have been right to say, listen, you can go take these AFA and ACE trainings. You can go learn this stuff in the field. You can go study this using a certification course later. What you're here to do is learn how to think. And you're going to learn the set of rules by which businesses operate. And then you're going to graduate and you can do anything you want with that information. But you're going to know so much that's so versatile and so useful in so many different areas. And I want you to give that some thought that if, especially if you are of age where you graduated with a certain degree that maybe you're using, maybe not. How have you used it? Did it really give you a lot of choices? And perhaps if you advise your, students who are in your family or friends, you consider the advice of, well, if you're really not sure what you want to do, what are some of the best fields of study you could do that are going to give you some choices? And I believe accounting is one of the top ones on that list. I really do. And yeah, clearly I'm biased, but I would encourage you to really consider the idea that this might be a really good field of study for you to add versatility, to add value to yourself and your career and to give you so many more options than you ever thought possible. Accountants who I'm talking to on a weekly, daily basis are saying the same thing. We're currently working on a campaign to get more people to consider this as a profession, consider this as a major, rightfully so, because we're really passionate about it and we know what it has given us, our board, and our profession overall, like what we have received in terms of opportunities. I mean, hell, if you had told me when I was 18, Shannon, if you study accounting, you can run your own business and live in Costa Rica. I would have been like, hell to the yeah, let's do that. Like, let's absolutely do that. Well, guess what? And that's what happened. And that's what you can do too. You could do it too. Your kids can do it. Your cousins can do it. Your friends can do it. Everybody can do it. It's just a choice on one little choice. Unfortunately, we make so young is really so pivotal. So I hope you take this advice to heart. I hope you share this with a college student or high school student who's considering different fields of study because I'm telling you right now that if only someone had shared this advice with more people my age, I really do think that a lot of folks would reconsider what they studied and also not give me such a hard time about picking accounting and studying the whole summer that I came back from school break for my CPA exams. It was worth it, 100% worth it. And those 4 years where I really worked my tail off in school were very well worth it. So I hope you take this advice to heart. I hope you share it with others. And thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, if you haven't yet booked a power session with me, I currently have spots open and I would love to dive deeper into your business. Now, here's what you can expect. One client who's a business coach said that this was one of the most clarifying sessions she's ever had. And she said, I feel like I finally understand how to steer the ship of my business in the right direction. Another client said that she couldn't believe that so much money, $10,000 per month to be exact, was hiding in plain sight on her financials, and she only discovered it from sitting in our session and going through the details with me. Another client was able to get their S corporation fully implemented with me on a call, and then their salary was adjusted to the proper level, so now they can have all their ducks in a row come tax time. The beauty of these sessions is that you can make them your own, and we can meet you where you're at in your business to help you move forward faster. If you're interested in booking a session, click the link in the show notes and apply now to grab one of those spots. We only do about 2 per month, so space is limited. Jump on it right now. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on your podcast platform. This small action goes a long way for podcasters to get our message heard by more business owners just like you. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to information about our guests and ways to get in touch with me. We'll see you on the next episode.